Welcome to Processing Title and Closing Orders with Bangor Savings Bank. The information contained in this presentation is for informational purposes only and should not be viewed or relied upon as individualized financial, tax, or legal advice. Individual financial situations may vary. Title Order. Bangor Savings Bank uses the Encompass Title Portal, and all orders will be requested through that portal. Our order request will include our title order instructions of what we will require based on the loan product or collateral to be secured. We have various requirements, so please read the instructions carefully and completely and reach out if you have any questions. The order verbiage will also note what we will need for title endorsements. In addition, our request will include our title commitment certification form to be completed and returned with the title commitment. A copy of the commitment letter will be attached to the order request. Make sure you review the letter to identify the conditions that will be required at closing. This could include things like subordination requirements or that a BSB SIM second HELOC will be closed along with the first mortgage. As you're processing the order, please notify us immediately if any of the following apply. If there will be any delay in providing the title commitment and what the delay is. If there are discrepancies with the subject property address. If there are issues with title, please let us know what the issue is, what the steps are to resolve it, and how long it will take. If there may be a potential delay to closing, for example, there is a probate involved and the seller does not yet have permission from the court to sell. If there are additional liens on title that we did not identify in the commitment letter to be paid off on a refinance, including tax liens, IRS liens, or undischarged mortgages. If there will be a power of attorney used for closing by the borrower. Please note that Bangor Savings Bank will need to approve the use of the POA. If a POA is going to be used, you are responsible for reviewing the POA for validity and then completing any necessary attestations regarding the POA. If the subject property is a condo, we will ask that you please review the condo bylaws and declarations to verify compliance with applicable state laws. Do not return the title commitment until after you have received our CID schedule closing request. Title should only be returned with the completed CID form and final fees once we are ready to close and not before. Title return. A completed and signed title commitment certification form must be returned with the title commitment. For the title commitment certification, we will require that you certify the following: that address discrepancies have been addressed, that there are no exceptions to title, that lender's title insurance matches the loan amount requested with the closing request, that the proposed insured is Bangor Savings Bank, ISAOA/ATIMA, that there are no other borrower liens on title other than the ones noted to be paid or subordinated per the commitment letter on a refinance, that title commitment is the Alta 2021 version, and how the names in which title will be held are to read. Do not return title documents until after you have received our CID schedule closing request. Title should only be returned with the completed CID form and final fees once we are ready to close and not before. All documents should be uploaded through the title portal. Do not email to the MLO. All communication is to be done through the Encompass title portal. Do not email the MLO. Do not email the mortgage analyst at bangor.com email address. Escalated items should be sent to Abby House directly. We recommend that access to the Encompass title portal be a shared account accessible by several people in your office and not assigned to one individual. Any requests from us for revisions to the commitment must be completed within 24 business hours. Title return continued. We ask that you please do not use the upload fees function in the Encompass title portal. We do not use this functionality as it causes issues with generating the closing disclosure. Bangor Savings Bank does not require a survey unless it's specified in the order or if a survey affidavit cannot be used for the title policy. If we require a survey, we will let you know when the foundation is in, or the mobile home has been set, or for construction loans, we will request a survey after closing. If a survey is needed for title policy, please notify us of the timing for the survey to be completed and the amount of the fee. and we will require a copy of the survey to be included with the executed closing package. Final fees and closing information document. You will receive a closing information document CID request form from us through the Encompass Title portal once the closing date has been confirmed. Once you've received this request, please confirm and schedule closing with all parties. If the closing date needs to be changed, please notify us immediately. The order will include a recording fee calculation guide sheet to help you determine the number of pages of the mortgages and riders applicable to the transaction. You must return the completed CID form and provide a prelim CD with all fees within 48 business hours of request. You will also return the title commitment and title commitment certification form at this time. The CID form must be completed in its entirety. Tax bills are not replacements for our CID form, although you can include the tax bill with the form, but it is imperative that CID form be as complete as possible. Notify us if you're waiting on items such as fuel prorations, HOA prorations, or if real estate agents have not provided commissions. However, still send us what fees you have so we can keep the file moving forward. If possible, all closing cost fees should be on page 2 of the CD. Only credits and prorations should be on page 3. We are aware of limitations and quirks with closing disclosure software, and sometimes fees have to be put wherever they're going to fit. All taxes due within 60 days of closing must be collected on the CD. We will send you a copy of the prelim CD as sent to the borrower. Please advise of any revisions to the CD within 24 business hours through the Encompass Title portal. If we do not hear from you within the 24 hours, we will send the final CD with the closing package as is, and no revisions to the CD will be made. Closing packages. You will receive an email notification from nCino SimpleNexus with a link to the closing portal when the closing package has been sent out. Access to the nCino SimpleNexus closing portal works best with a shared account, accessible by several people in your office and not assigned to one individual. We cannot reassign packages to someone else in your office. Be sure to review all tasks in the SimpleNexus closing portal, including the borrower e-sign package. Key documents like the closing disclosure and right to cancel forms are included in the borrower's e-sign package if applicable. Also, take note of all documents to be signed by the seller so you can ensure signatures are obtained. Please be sure to read instructions for printing the closing package and ensure you use the applicable Adobe settings with the correct page sizes. Read the closing instructions to ensure all closing conditions are met. Please reach out to discuss any questions or concerns you have prior to closing. Once you receive the closing package, you are responsible for confirming with the borrowers the amount of funds required for closing. If you do not receive the closing package within 2 days prior to closing, reach out to us to confirm the final amount of funds required. You're responsible for informing the borrower of any items needed for closing, and you're responsible for confirming all parties required to be present for closing will be at the closing. All borrowers must sign on the day of closing and must sign the same set of closing documents. There are no exceptions to this. At closing, confirm all borrowers and title holders have electronically signed their closing documents. You will receive a notification when the borrowers have completed their e-sign. If you do not receive that notification, you need to make sure that the borrowers e-sign their documents at the closing table. If the borrower or title holder is struggling with e-sign, please notify us and we can send a traditional closing package to be wet signed if needed. For any issues on day of closing and/or at the closing table, please send a message through the Encompass Title portal or call Abby Howes at 207-944-2528. For mail-away closing packages, please be sure to set up a time to review the documents prior to signing with the borrower, and be sure to print and mail the required wet signed documents to the borrower. Do not allow borrowers to print the wet signed documents as they may not print the correct paper size, resulting in portions of documents to be cut off. Funding. For closing agents with BSB accounts, funds are typically deposited 1 business day prior to the disbursement date. Be aware, though, that loans where the closing package has not yet been sent will not be funded until the docs have been sent. If funding needs to be adjusted, please message in the Encompass Title portal, and we will adjust the funding on our end. Do not send checks back with the closing package. If net funding results in funds due back to us from you, the funds should be available in your BSB account for us to pull within 1 business day after the disbursement date. For closing agents without BSB accounts, funds will be wired 1 business day prior to closing. Be aware that loans where the closing package has not yet been sent will not be funded until the docs have been sent. If net funding results in funds due back to us, please send a check for the funds. Returning closing documents. A copy of the entire executed package must be scanned and uploaded through the nCino SimpleNexus closing portal within 1 business day of closing. You are responsible for ensuring all pages are scanned and legible. Any messages from us regarding missing pages must be addressed promptly. Only scan and upload BSB closing documents. The only additional documents required from you are the seller CD, transfer deed, Exhibit A to the mortgage, or other specific documents that we requested in the closing instructions. Please do not include any seller documents that we do not require. If a survey was completed, copy must be uploaded with the closing package. Original wet signed notes should be sent in overnight mail within 1 business day of closing to Bangor Savings Bank at our address in Bangor, Maine. A copy of the original recorded mortgages should be mailed to BSB within 10 days of closing to the same address above. If the loan is a state housing loan, mail all signed closing docs to the address above. All other loan types or programs, we only need the original note and original recorded mortgage, unless otherwise specified, such as an EPP, HOW grant, note, and mortgage. Copy of the short form final title policy on Altiform 2021 should be uploaded through the nCino SimpleNexus closing portal with the closing package. We are aware there are some transactions that short form is not acceptable and that the final title policy will be uploaded as a trailing document in the days following closing. Post-closing issues. We will communicate identified post-closing issues through the Encompass Title portal. All post-closing follow-up requests from us that do not involve the borrower must be provided to the bank within 1 business day of the request. All post-closing follow-up requests from us that do involve the borrower must be provided to the bank within 5 business days of request. Please respond to all requests for follow-up within 4 business hours, confirming receipt. You may be responsible for reimbursing BSB for any penalty and/or loss of income incurred as a result of post-closing errors that were not resolved timely. If there are any property tax collection errors found post-closing, we will rely on you to correct and cover the cost of any late fees to the town or municipality. And that's our title and closing order process in a little more than a nutshell. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for watching this training presentation and have a great rest of your day.